But at the end, I was able to go with her when she was leaving her body, and she kind of had the dementia a little bit. She kind of forgot while we were at odds with each other. So we made peace, and it was very sweet. And she would say to her friend, "My son is here," and all these things. She would keep looking at my hair. I had regular hair, not to freak her out too much. She said, "Son, your hair is gray." I said, "Mom, I'm 60 years old." And she wasn't aware of that. But when she took a turn for the worse, she was in hospice. And she would have never allowed this, but I put neck beads on her, Harnam Shatter, pictures of Krishna and Prabhupada, and I couldn't have imagined a better send-off from my mom. Who used to say, "That HK thing you're into." So death and dying freaks people out. You know, when I decided carefully to go public with the diagnosis, and as far as disease, there's a physical component, there's an emotional component, there's a spiritual component. And for me, and I think for all of us, it's important to really search those out. What are the reasons for this? So one of the reasons, I'm half joking, but not so much, is since I got the diagnosis, I got so much love and appreciation. I'm just like, wow, yeah. All, because I write a lot. And, everybody's busy. And people don't have the time, or they don't take the time to offer appreciation to one another. So all of a sudden I'm getting all these emails. "Oh, Prabhu, you said this and it meant so much to me." I'm like, I had no idea. I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't be writing. Because you just never know your effect on somebody. Just to be a little bit kind and loving and considerate. I mean, when I go out into the world, go shopping, I try to focus on what I'm grateful for, have a genuine smile on my face and love in my heart. So whoever I encounter, I can try to encourage them, whatever their path is. I can try to be some kind of a light for people. Because you see people suffering so much in the world. Because they don't have anything more than this lifetime. If this is all there is, that's depressing. But when you understand, at least to some extent, that you're an eternal soul having a human experience, it really changes everything. And when you have a spiritual practice by which you're feeling yourself making some spiritual progress towards that dimension, that's exciting. We all have our ups and downs. But we have the spiritual practice. I mean, 45 years, I always have this, I'm kind of almost embarrassed to say that, actually, because I should be practically like levitating by now, I should be, floating in spiritual bliss. But one of the things I want to say, I have, lists of points I would like to make in this talk or workshop, whatever it's going to become, is that there is a quality to our practice. It isn't just snick, snick, rom, rom. It's really, and I don't mean to be, discouraging for anyone. I'm really trying. I feel like I'm a, positive force. I want to encourage everyone, but I want to speak the truth also. And that, one of the reasons for me, besides wanting to get love and appreciation for the cancer, is that I have to speak my truth, so to speak, what they say in the world. I have to, and then, like I said, it's uncomfortable for me. I'd rather be in the audience listening to someone than be up in front of you, to be honest. But I know I have to do it, and it's a challenge for me. But it's good, and we have to be able to take those prompts from life and rise to the occasion to do what we're here to do. I mean, in a general sense, those who are devotees, who are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we're trying to be Krishna conscious. And yet, we have to be able to digest that according to our psychology. I mean, for me, I would like to see that temples were holistic healing centers. Because, yeah, we're giving the spiritual medicine, but a lot of us, our backgrounds are pretty messed up. Mine was pretty messed up. But that was a good thing, because a lot of people in my generation got really smashed by the material world. And that was what's called the negative impetus for bhakti. It's like, there's got to be something else. I mean, some people get into intoxication and they just zone out. And I did that a little bit. But other people, they're at a certain point, their life unfolds, and they think, no, spiritual life. I mean, I was never a religious person. I was never a spiritual person. You wouldn't have picked me out growing up as being, I was just a normal guy growing up in a crazy alcoholic family. So, and one of the things I've learned is that you have to make peace with your past. And that's one of the great benefits if you have some, I don't really think, I could leave my body, that's certainly a possibility, I don't think it's my time, but I'm hearing you, Krishna, that I have to be committed to my practice and to try to share that with other people, try to encourage other people that you can stay the course of a lifetime of bhakti. People come and people go, and one of the reasons people go is what I like to call your karmic mission. That means your body is designed to excel in a certain field, whatever it is. You might be fortunate to be a monk or a renunciate, but that's a rare person. So, because I saw people, they were doing all the right things, and in those days, we were all living in the temple. And either you lived in the temple or you were in mine. There was no in between. So, it didn't give a lot of options. Career, go back to school, slaughterhouse, don't do, whatever. But we have to really be able to understand who we are in this body and what is required for the long haul. We'll understand what you need to do. And one of the things I like to say to people and myself is, what do you want? Really. Not what you should want. What do you want? Really. That's a meditation, because if you can ask yourself that, you're going to understand something of what you need to do in this lifetime. In Christianity, they talk about people that go to church with their church face. They're arguing and they go into church and, hi, Reverend. Everything's fine. So, as devotees, we know how to look good. We've got our dhoti, our sari, our tilak. We actually have to be good. Not just good, but authentically who we are in this body. Yes, we're spirit souls. We're a spiritual being, but the way that we realize that is understanding our psychophysical nature. Call it Vinasham if you like. It just means finding a way to be peaceful in this lifetime in your body with the goal of being Krishna conscious and understanding what that is and studying these literatures. I wanted to start reading a couple of things, but I didn't quite. But I'll just backtrack a little bit. I wanted to just read a couple of verses because it's death and dying or death and living, you could say. Or, sometimes they say, near-death experiences are fine, but don't have a near-life experience. In other words, don't die, however, I don't know a better way to say it for devotees, with your greatest music unplayed or whatever. Your passion. And that was, I listened to the motivational people. I'm very inspired, all the different motivational, Tony Robbins or Brian Tracy, or they have a lot of good tips, a lot of good, but I was never excited about anything for years. And so that's another reason I attracted cancer, so I could be excited about, hey, we're going to die, everybody. We better do something before we die, because whatever we think of at the time of death, that's our next situation. Not that we should be morbid and morose, we can be joyful people. But how to really incorporate that, because I see that it's like a balm for me, it's like a healing balm. All these things I've been studying for so many years. I had so many Reiki attunements. I had so much training in hypnotherapy, but I never really used it. It's part of who I am. And the beginning of the talk, I was supposed to say, we're all biased. Every speaker is biased. And you as an audience, you have to understand that. So I have a bias. My particular family background. the fact that I spent, 25 years dealing with my upbringing. Yeah, chant Hare Krishna, that's a real healing, but I had to forgive my parents. I had to learn how to be in my body. I had to learn, like now, if I'm going to be able to talk to you, I have got to be present. I've got to be speaking to each and every one of you. How to do that, right? But that's my prayer, that this can be relevant. It isn't. I'm not just here as entertainment. I don't want to just be a talking head or whatever, but I'm trying to share what's real for me, what works for me, how I've struggled through these years. I always chanted, not very good, and that's kept me a devotee. And there are a large number of devotees who do not chant Hare Krishna. Is that really true? It's it's our personal time with Krishna, our japa. It's like Krishna. Prayer is so important to me. I have a poem I've written about it, written about it. Like these prayers of the acharyas, but just talking to Krishna, being in what's the word? Integrity with yourself. Not and that requires a lot of work. You got to sort out. Unless you came from a pure devotee background, you got issues about growing up. So it's really important to deal with those issues, and because they bleed over into your relationships with other devotees and people. Say you hate your mother, now you're going to hate women, and you're going to have all these quotes about women. Well, it's more about you than the person. Just like one of the exercises that I won't do it here, but we did it. My wife and I did it one time. We say, look around the room. Do you have any issues with anyone in this room? If you do, go to that person and talk to them right now. And wow, that was intense. Someone came up to Arjun actually, said something happened 3 years ago and I need to talk to them. So, there's something that I call the negative undercurrent in communities. It's like, he said, she said, I don't like him, I don't like her. He was rude to me, she was rude. We got I guess we do, because if it's unconscious. A negative undercurrent in ourself, unresolved life issues that causes friction and disagreement and conflict with other people. One of the wonderful quotes Prabhupada said about, he said, everyone thinks of others according to their own position. They say something, and if I said it, it would mean this. So devotees, any kind of relationships are very, very important. It's what life is about. We're trying to have a relationship with Krishna. And I hear there's devotees there, so we better learn to get along with devotees when we're here. So it's very essential that we understand ourselves, who we are in the body, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what we need to get through this lifetime, and that we see every encounter with another person as an opportunity to grow. Because people are like mirrors, especially our spouse, those that we love, our kids. Whatever our issues, we're going to see it in that person. So you may get angry at that, but actually you have to look at yourself. Even motivational speakers say you have to be 100% responsible for your life. Now that is some serious work to do. And we don't think, but he did this, she did that. Then why are you attracting it? Forgive me, ladies, I'm not picking on you, but the classic is a woman who, she keeps marrying an alcoholic. Could be a man too, I guess, but why is that? You have to look at something in yourself. We attract what we are. So we're spiritual beings, but we have a psychology, we have a body, and we have to be in harmony and peace with those things. So just so I can say that I chanted some verses, and a couple of, I'm just getting the hang of this. So I'm supposed to be going to Mexico technology, right? I'm going next month to go to a cancer clinic for about 7 days, and then I'm going to do some speaking. I'm going to have to get one of our technology people here. Anyway, we're just basically saying, I just want to open birth and death. See, us old folks, we got a big learning curve. You know? It's my wife's idea, because when I travel, I usually take a whole library, you know, and so now I have the whole library on here. But, you know, beyond birth and death, if we want to understand something about death, we can look at the second chapter of the Gita. For one who's born, death is certain. For one who's dead, rebirth is certain. And that's in the second chapter. In the 13th chapter, the process of knowledge. Janma Mrityu Jayavadi Dukkhadoshana Darshanam. That we should understand the miseries of birth, death, disease, and old age. So that's part of, it's not happening? Oh, he's rebooting it. When everything else fails, it's a lesson. Reboot. Works with life too. I'm trying to do that.